Devin had an amazing third quarter. Can you talk about his third quarter?
Yeah, it was great. It probably was the reason, one of the big reasons we were able to win the game. We actually got down, I think, during the stretch, but he made 2 or 3 amazing energy plays. Got the ball in the basket a couple times. Got to the free throw line when we were struggling to get shots, and it was a throwback kind of deal tonight. It was terrific, and he was absolutely gassed by the time he came out. I suppose we could have gone back with him in the fourth, but felt that if we could avoid it, it would be best.
Dennis only played 19 minutes tonight. Was the injury part of the reason he didn't play as many minutes?
Yeah, he can't shoot. So he wanted to play, and he took on the toughest defensive matchup to start the game. We got off to a good start. All things considered, I thought he did good things in a difficult situation. Fortunately, Borrega had a good game, and we were able to, find a way to win it. But it's tough being out there. He's almost a 40% three-point shooter, and he just can't shoot threes. And so hopefully he'll be better the next couple days, and we'll see where he is on Saturday. But he's a tough kid, and he wanted to be out there for his team, so we let him.
What did you think about Barnes' aggressive nature? It took him a few possessions to get the ball at the beginning of the game, but he really started to find a shot and look for it.
He was great. Games like this, he's got to be very aggressive. He's got to be an offensive force. And down the stretch, we were calling his number virtually every time, and he was making really good things happen. Even on the shots that he didn't necessarily hit, he was creating shots, and a couple of them we were able to get offensive rebounds on. So that's what top line players are supposed to do.
What do you think of the minutes Salah gave you?
Well, he hasn't played much, and so it was a slow start, understandably, because he hasn't been out there much. First 3 or 4 minutes were rough, and then he really picked it up in the first half. And I thought the second half he was terrific. He had blocks, he had rebounds, and he was making some good simple plays on offense. So it's just another example of how in this league today you've got to have a deep roster and everybody's got to stay ready.
When you got Luka those consistent minutes, how special it is for him to be on your roster, Luka?
Yeah, Luka's a very good player. We loved him in the draft. We traded to get him in the draft, and he's been very good, and we're very glad to have him here. Tonight he ended up playing. He really plays 3 positions on most nights. He right now with Matthews out, he starts at 2, and then plays some 3, but he handles the ball a lot, so he's really like a point guard too. So it's like having a second point guard out there, which is great. And as you can tell, he's learning about different NBA defenses, how they close. The lobs in this league are a little different than the ones in Europe, and he's learning each game. But he's a terrific player and a great kid.
With his performance, does it over the expectation, or kind of meet your expectation before you draft him, or before at the beginning of the season?
Well, my general manager believed he was going to be this kind of player. A lot of other people thought he was a good player, but not as good as he's played. So Donnie Nelson was right about Luka Doncic, and a lot of other people have not been right about him. So Donnie Nelson, Donnie Nelson.
You like the way Luka's personality is starting to creep out a little here and there? Or does that carry on?
Look, we encourage guys to be themselves, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own personality. DeAndre's an outgoing guy. Wes Matthews is an expressive guy. Barnes is a little quieter, but he his statements come with actions and how he approaches, the day-to-day and all that kind of stuff. Luka's an emotional guy, loves to play, and so, that's great. I'm just not 100% sure about the 100-mile-an-hour lob bank lob passes transition. But look, those are learning things, you know, and he'll learn, and you know the guys he's playing with will learn as well, and I'll learn too.